The topic of our group project is Doujin culture, and here's Jun exercise. And here's are the contents of our study. First of all, I'm going to talk about the definition about otaku. Otaku mainly refers to pop music fans who may have a strong interest in comics, animes, video games, and so on. And then doujins comes in later. And doujins means that some otaku themselves like certain works and then create their works based on those works without any commercial influence. Their creations may be drawing new comics, creating novels, and so on. And doujins design scope has a large degree of freedom. People can create whatever they like, which is also known as the same people. And doujins is divided into two categories. One is the creator, and the other is reader. The creator is divided into two categories. The first one is akaki. It is an amateur doujins illustrator, mainly the illustrator of doujins, comics, and animes. And the second type is mokikaki, which is an amateur doujins writer. They mainly write news novel. Readers that like to read doujins are called yomisens or lomasens. And doujin sheets is a porters of doujin's culture. Is the Japanese term of self-published works. Usually it's a new comics or novel created by a group of new creators. These works are very popular with the public. Then, Sokubai is an exhibition, also known as the comic market. It is dedicated to the sales of doujin sheet. Participants from the fan fictions can be individuals or group of selling their creation, or exchange them with others. There are also many people from the fan fiction exchange their idea through this exhibition. And on the other hand, anime is the mainstream culture in Japan, and doujins is also become its subculture because the fanatics culture is another kind of special values and behavior products along with the mainstream culture of animation. Many people in Japan are also influenced by their subculture, and they also spread into another subculture, which is fan culture. It is a group of like-minded people who are great interest about something, because in Japan there is a large class of people who like the freedom culture. So a fan culture has gradually formed. And here is the history, background, and development. Doujin's culture have a long history of development, and it has been around for about 45 years now. It dates back to the first Sokubaikai in December of 1975. However, the times and dates of festival were not known because the Doujin's culture is not popular at that time. It was held twice a year, and starting in 1990s, until fandom begins to flourish. And until now, nearly 100 Shokubaikai have been held, and under globalization, Japanese products are sold to the rest of the world. And the objective of our project is to study the reasons why people draw and write doujin, and to study the effects of doujin on Japanese society.
And here is our methodology. Here is our methodology and scope of our study. We will mainly focus on literature reviews on related academic essays and journals, as well as some theory programs. We will also conduct data analysis in order to depict the real situations of the doujin culture among otakus. And here are the literature review about the definition of otaku and doujin, just like my groupmate said before.
Now, let's talk about the reasons of creating doujinshi. According to some minor fields of doujinshi creators searched online, there are some reasons of doujinshi's creation. Personally, the creators do it for self-interest. Doujinshi is different from commercial creations. The creators seldom do it for profit, although it is actually bringing some profit. One of the creators mentioned that she has that passion in creating doujinshi. However, back to the days when she was a student, she must make profit from it to create more doujinshi. Secondly, there are peer influence. There are circles in doujin world. Circles are a group of creators who want to work together to create works. To be in a circle, they seldom request to join in an existing group. It is usually by invitation or to develop a new one with friends. Also, since the creator of doujinshi are mostly otaku, they lack social skill. It may not be easy for them to express themselves in reality. So, doujin has become a way for them to express feeling and opinion. Lastly, it is due to the passion and influence of manga or other doujin works. Most of the creators are maniac to manga themselves. This may inspire them to create their own manga or creation. Secondly, the second aspect is social impacts. First, the existence of Comic Cat, which means comic market and an online platform. There are comic market in different cities in Japan. It is very accessible for creators to promote and to sell their creation. It is also easy to take part in. The creator just have to pay. And as the internet developed, it is more convenient and easier for a creator to share and sell their creations. There are many websites such as Manga Panda, Comico, and Bookwalker for free manga. Secondly, the tolerance of law and rights holder. Although there are copyright laws, the enforcement would need complaints from the right holders. Right holders in Japan would not complain on doujinshi because they consider it as parody. They also respect the doujin culture, and some may even consider it as a free promotion. Besides, the demand of doujin product is high, and it creates chances for the creator. It is estimated that around 1,000 doujinshi sokubaikai, which means the selling events, per year. The Comic Cat can attract 60,000 fans per year too. Finally, the popularity of manga and comic in Japan. Comics are originated in the 90s. Nowadays, the annual sale of manga books and magazines is at 35 to 40% among all publications in Japan. There is even a place in Tokyo that is full of stores that sell manga-related products, which is Akihabara. So, why is doujinshi so popular in Japan? First of all, it is because of the diversified doujin culture. There are many forms of doujin, such as cosplay, comic, manga, and video games, etc. There are all different sorts of genres as well, like humorous, romantic, or even erotic. So it enables people with different interests to participate in doujin culture. Secondly, it can fulfill the fans' desire. Fans of the original comic or manga would love to see the character of manga to do something special and different, such as fujoshi, which means girls who enjoy boys' love. That is what we call BL or yaoi in Japan. They would like to see two men's character to develop love and in romance or erotic doujin creations. For example, Sasuke and Naruto in the anime Naruto. It can only happen in Niji so Saku, which means the parody.
Well, thank you for my partner, and then I'm Rinky, and I will make an analyze about the effects of doujin to Japanese society. Well, the doujin culture involves the artistic life adopted by people with similar interests as they got together and shared their creative ideas. For these ideas, they create literature, games, comics, or other products. The culture of doujin has been greatly influenced by anime, and in turn, the doujin has contributed to anime's growth. So for the first point, doujin has greatly impacted the art culture in Japan. Well, anime has been a venue through which creators has come up with artistic expressions of characters, and Japanese traditions has been incorporated into the art of anime. The manga industry has also been increasing with the growth of anime, including porting their products to Western cultures. This has led to growth of the animation industry as well, including the venue through which the anime is released. These include televisions, magazines, and the internet. And for the second point, doujin guides the consumer marketing orientation of Japan. Well, young people in Japan society and elsewhere continue to be the greatest consumers of anime. However, even adults has been consumer depending on the genres offered. With the prevalence of the different genres, Japanese society has been more open as different genres catered to different needs in the society. While the erotic anime, for example, gained popularity and was wildly consumed in 1980s, and other genres has come up to represent the diverse needs in the society. Well, you will often hear doujinshi in reference to the yaoi or BL genre, which is notorious for its endless doujin library. Well, also the pornographical doujinshi are very popular, and it is safe to say that the majority of pornographical manga are doujinshi. And Japanese culture does not treat doujinshi like counterfeits, but rather than a paradise or original work. And even the Premier Ministry Shinzo Abe stated that doujinshi must be treated more like paradise, but not streaming anime or uploading manga. One of the reasons why Japanese government has continued to support this industry is that the benefits it has on the community. For creators of original content and copyright holders, doujin creators are both their most hardcore fans and potential collaborators in the future. So, why would they want to engage in the disputes with doujin creators when you could risk losing their own reputation and potentially lucrative collaboration opportunities? And moreover, why refuse a chance to get free advertisement while encouraging the work of unknown but talented individuals, as well as furthering the growth of 2D culture? And many famous creators and studios that has their beginning in doujins. So doujins is considered more or less a legitimate career path. For instance, the Gainax and the Clamp are two of the biggest examples. Some of the most notable doujinshi come from Gainax and Clamp, the two famous studios that had their roots in doujin. The girls at Clamp who would go onto creator Card Captor Sakura and other huge series. Started as a 12-women doujin circle called Clam Cluster, make a bunch of JoJo Bizarre adventure Yao fanfiction. Their most famous work includes the character Kakuin laying an egg. It's certainly old, but the oddity is the beauty of the doujinshi. So makes a turn to my next partner. Thank you.
As our groupmate said, although doujin is not a culture for profit making and in the very beginning, but the fact that it brought a great number of economic activities to Japan as the doujinshi itself is a printed book and creators need to pay for the printing. Therefore, every single doujinshi is not free at all. So there is always a financial transaction, especially in Sokubaikai when people read or create doujins. According to the statistic about the number of participants of comic markets, it has kept about 600,000 of people joining the Sokobai Guide since 2008. Also, in the interview of the reason why foreigners coming to Japan, some also said that they came for buying doujinshi and have a large consuming on it. Therefore, we can see the economic benefits brought by this culture, even though it is not the original aim for people create or reading doujinshi. And the influence of doujinshi is not limited in Japan, but it had already spread around the world. Just like foreigners will go to Japan for buying doujinshi, there are also some sokubaikai in Hong Kong and Taiwan, such as Rainbow Gala, Creative Paradise, and Comic World. Of course, there are also some convention and sokubaikai in other countries. Therefore, we can see that doujin is no longer a culture limited in Japan. Although most of the sokubaikai have been cancelled for several times because of the pandemic situation nowadays, doujin creators in Japan can also deliver their works through social media such as Twitter and the internet online community Pixivu, and as well as the booths which offer online shopping of doujinshi. Moreover, some virtual sokubaikai become popular and people in overseas can also have shipping service. Therefore, it can be seen that the form of doujin keep changing with times. And those are our research of our group. However, as we only analyze a limited number of texts and that information cannot represent all the otaku who creating or reading doujinshi, as it is not a mainstream culture, and the form of doujinshi keep changing easily because of different reasons. It is thought that the future transformation of doujin culture is also an interesting topic for us to study. To conclude, we have analyzed what doujinshi and its roots and background, as well as the impacts to the society. From the above, we can be seen that the doujinshi is a part of unique cultural formation of Japanese otakus, as it is a kind of fandom with people's passion on it. Doujin artists create with respect for the original work and use it as a tool for expressing themselves as well as forming some small community among people having the same habits. Doujinshi is one of the subculture, yet it brought a great influence on modern Japanese society. However, it is also an undeniable fact that doujinshi is in legal gray zone. Therefore, there are some unwritten rules exist among doujin readers and creators. Then again, with the influence of overseas and the current situation of COVID-19, the main way to hold the Sokubaikai is becoming through the internet instead of in the reality. Therefore, we anticipate that this may bring some new change to the doujinshi culture in the near future. And this is the end of our presentation. And this is our list of reference. Thank you.